Hey, we about to go live.
Oh no, this can't be. Hell no! Wait, somebody actually said that. What? They said what? Oh no, this can't be. Get the hair oracle on the phone now. Hello, what the hell is it now? I'm in Afro meditation. Glad I got you. Yes, what's up? Welcome to the dumbest shit people say about black hair. The podcast where myths get roasted, science gets respected, and black hair finally gets the conversation it deserves.
Every week, Cheryl, Morrow, and Ladosha Wright unpack the comments, the confusion, the history, the culture, and the facts with humor, heart, and zero tolerance for nonsense. Whether you're rocking coils, curls, locks, braids, raids, or an afro, you'll laugh, you'll learn, and you'll never hear black hair the same way again.
Every Monday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Follow, subscribe, and join the conversation on our YouTube Afro Hair Science channel, because ignorance is loud, but we're louder. Changing minds one myth at a time.
Don't. Hey, what's happening, blacks? How you guys doing out there? It's me, your homegirl Ladosha Wright, aka Lo Lo, coming to you live and direct. Y'all know what's fun, right? No, it's not the Boogie Down Productions. No, it's Lolo, and they're right over there. Y'all know who that is. It's my BFF, my PNC, my partner in cosmetology, the one and only Cheryl Morrow, aka the hair oracle. And boy, oh boy, you guys have just landed on planet Pluto. Pseudo. This is the podcast for professionals in the world of hair, skin, and nails. And tonight we got something going on that's going to be totally awesome. We're talking about the world of barbers. Yeah, with my hand clap. Hold on, sure. The barbers, man. The barbers are the hottest thing smoking on social media. Man, the barbers are like they rolling social media. I mean, they got they're like the Sally Jesse Raphael, the Phil Donahue. Y'all, some of y'all probably too young to remember those talk shows.
They don't know nothing about that.
They ain't Jerry Springer though. Y'all not, but the barbers are, man, the barbers are ruling, they're running it. And so tonight we have the lovely Mr. Marshall Brown. He's going to be joining us in a moment. It's all about the black. The black barbershop. Yeah, we talking to these barbers out here, man, because cosmetologists now. Sure, before we get into it, what's up, Weekay? How you doing, Kay? What's it? Ebony, I'm about to give you a special shout out, so don't you get off the live just yet. LB, guess what I got? I got some bologna. I ain't gonna put it up on the podcast because sure might not like that. But I do have some bologna. Yes, I have me some. I like Anchorage. I used to eat Oscar Myers, but then my cousin, when I went down, so I didn't know that there was a difference in bologna because y'all know I'm from the project. We just ate through whatever they gave us at church. Y'all remember them free lunches at church? Now, come on, I ain't the only one now. We ain't went that poor. Now, come on now, okay? But we used to go to the church, man. Them free lunches used to be the bomb. We used to be dry, but them bologna sandwiches was good. Anywho, I digress. So my cousin was like, we went down south to the Piggly Wiggly. Anybody from the dirty south? What about dirty south people?
Wiggly.
I heard Piggly Wiggly was about to go out of business, but anywho, back in the day down in Memphis, the Piggly Wiggly was like, that was the grocery store. And so she was like, we gonna have some bologna sandwich with some tomatoes and lettuce, like the gourmet. You gourmet when you put some tomatoes and lettuce and cheese on that bologna. Don't fry it up. Anywho. And so I said, we could just grab some bologna. She said, you just can't eat any old kind of bologna. Ebony. That's what she said. She said, you just can't eat any old kind of bologna. Then here I go.
What you talking about, Willie?
I know y'all in San Diego don't get down with bologna like Cleveland folks do and down south. Y'all get down with bologna in San Diego?
I mean, I let me say, I've graduated. So
I'm like, sure, so bougie.
I can say I've graduated.
She graduated. I got a doubt. Well, hold on. I did. So anyhow, so my cousin said, you just can't eat. You just can't do that, And I was like, well, what? I mean, bologna is bologna. Well, apparently that is not true. So I had to learn like the hard way. So anyhow, Sashi told me, we had to eat Anchorage. So I didn't really think. I know y'all like for real, Ladosha. No, I'm serious. I honestly just did not think anything about the bologna. But I ain't gonna lie. Once I had Anchorage, I was like, this little Cheryl. You know what, Nicole? You might have a good point. If my cousin was watching this live, I'm gonna tell you right now, she would be having a fit. Like, I know you was not on that podcast talking about me eating bologna. But anywho, it's my cousin, so maybe she'll forgive me. But anywho. But anywho, that's just how it goes down. You could do your family like that. So anywho, we're gonna have just a fantastic podcast for you guys tonight. And again, we're talking about the Black Barbershop. We got some history in it. The Black Barbershop has a wonderful history here in the United States, around the world, but we're just going to focus on the United States for now. And then, they got some problems, and then we're going to talk about some solutions. And so we need to have this conversation because Cheryl's dad, he kind of leveled up the game for all of us out here. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Morrow. He drive a hard bargain. You talk about you think you doing something. Dr. Morrow, he make you be like, make you want to lead the one you with. Anybody go see Chris Brown and Usher? What's up? Y'all ain't talking about USHERAY. Y'all not talking about Chris Brown. Run it. I don't know.
I don't know anything. I don't know
Chris Brown song. That's how old I am. I am so old.
But I only know. Let me just say this. I only remember him as a little boy. After he got kind of like grown, I didn't run into any Chris Brown stuff.
He was like a bank robber with Idris Elba and T.I. Like, that was a good ass movie, But anywho, y'all ain't talking about Chris Brown and them. So what kind of fans is y'all? When we went to see Breaking Family, we came back with all white. We went to see Parliament. We came back like P4.
Look at California.
Come on now. Yeah, we had the flashlight. Y'all kind of
bougie. California.
Y'all some bougie fans. But anyhow, we're going to have a wonderful time tonight. Talking about the barbers and everything. Free lunch at church. K, please don't say nothing. K, let me just get through the introduction. I should have never scrolled.
What?
I should have never scrolled.
Y'all leave Kilo alone tonight.
Kay, I don't know you, but I love you. Look at you in the chat.
Oh, wait a minute. And Kay, is it the one with the ring around it? That it peels? Woo!
Kay, what city you from? Because it's funny how I'm all the way Midwest. Cheryl all the way San Diego. Kay, I don't know where you at, but we all know about the bologna with the ring. And the thick bologna too, okay? But here, Kay, I got this one for you, okay? Cheryl made this. Here we go. Look, Cheryl. What the French toast and bologna? Sure, you gotta make a voice behind that meme, okay? We need to put that.
Oh my God!
What the French toast and bologna sandwich? Kay,
wait a minute. Wait a minute. Who used to sell bologna? Am I correct? Wasn't it Rodney Allen Rippey?
Rodney. Oh yeah, my first friend, my bologna had a first name. It's OSCAR. My baloney had a second name. It's Meyer. I have to sing it every day.
Every day.
Don't ask me while I say. Because Oscar Mayer has a way with BOLOGNA. You gotta be old to know that. Now that's how much bologna we ate. And by the way, Kay, please don't write anything in the chat. I'm just not Kay. I'm not gonna look in the comments.
Kay.
I know Kay got something crazy. I'm not looking in the chat for at least like 3 minutes because Kay always throws me off. I try to be all right. Y'all see I put my makeup on. I got me some new lip gloss. But I'm still laughing at Kay's chat. So I'm sorry if you guys are new to the podcast. Welcome. But we do have this one particular person. What's up, Cheddar? Cheddar over here on Instagram. So nice to see you. Hey, Pedicure Princess, how you doing? I'm sorry, guys.
Up,
I cannot look at any comments until we are about 3 minutes so I could take a breather because Kay Washington is like the funniest person ever in the building. So Kay, I'm sorry if I can't get no shout outs, but anywho, I gotta get this laugh out.
No, you can't get no shout out. Come on now.
I only do this with Kay. Maybe if I drink some water. Kay, please just don't type anything. But just give me like Okay.
You know.
All right. Okay. I'm not gonna look at it. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't. LB, you know I love you. Weekend, you know how it is. Okay. But right quick, I just want to give seriously. Let me just digress for a minute. I got my nose a little bit run. I ain't got no tissue because I wasn't prepared for Kay. I gotta start bringing Kleenex from now on. But anywho, you guys know that. I work at the Reverence Design Team hair salon, okay? Mm-hmm. And I have some wonderful colleagues. Like, I'm not even trying to,
you ain't trying to fraud.
I ain't even trying to perpetrate the fraud, okay? But we have a new team member. Her name is Ebony, okay? And Ebony just joined RDT Hair Salon. She's been with us for a couple of months now. I see Mary Charlotte in the chat. We're about to bring him in too. And after I say this, because I'm sure there's something he just might want to say about this too, because he know about this. And people come into the salon with different levels of experience. And Ebony came in extremely green, okay, like me. Like I am one of those people who went to school. I was taught. My grandmother, my mom, I knew some stuff, but anywho, I digress. And so Ebony has really, really, really been applying herself in spite of her shortcomings, or I'm not this, or I still got to get that. When I tell you this girl, you know how they say go hard or go home?
Damn.
Ebony 10 toes down on the square. You hear what I'm saying? Her shampoo skills was like out. Like, Ebony, what are they teaching y'all in this school? Ebony like, oh, that's just how they taught us. And we're like, well, you can't do it like that. We're doing it like this. She got to get on the mannequin. I got her on the mannequin, like doing like muscle memory, and she ain't breaking down. She going home practicing on her husband. She's recording the dials. This girl is not playing. Because the shampoo is like the most important part. She has to learn how to do a consultation. She's got to talk different. Now, Ebony, like me, we're from the hood. So, everything is like, what's up, man? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to bring Mr. Marshall in because I want him to, because he works at a barbershop. He's managed, he's trained. Let's bring in Marshall so he can get in on some of this action. Y'all give it up for the one on there. Oh, you so fine, make the preacher drink wine.
Thank you. I appreciate
that. Dang, you fine. I'm sorry, y'all.
Hey, how's it going?
Wait a minute. I call him Professor Cut. Professor Cut, what's up?
I like that.
What's happening? How you guys doing?
We are super fantastic barbershop magic.
Oh, hey, what's happening?
Yeah, that's right. So I'm giving some praises to my colleague, right? And as I was saying, I had to bring you in because as this is a perfect segue actually into our topic about the Black barbershop. We're talking about the history, we're talking about the problems, and we're going to talk about some solutions, right? And so Ebony, like I said, she came in green. And so we're cultivating her. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And in addition to being cultivated, not only does she have to learn like the professional way, she's got to learn the professional image and the professional talk. So I was saying that we both from the hood, you know, me, I'm like, what's up,
right.
you know, how you, so you know, son, what you gonna do today? You know, my name Key Lo Lo, you know what I'm saying? But you know, you can't talk like that. But you could. I'm not, you know, I'm just saying, you know. And so Ebony is just really learning her own way. She's learning Afro hair science. So she's got this new Afro hair science, you know, vocabulary and thought processes. When I tell you my homegirl is doing the damn thing. So we are going to be taking Ebony and her husband, because her husband, he's been like her model. You know, Ebony calling people like, can I do your hair? They're like, no. Click. Ebony like, okay, next person. She is just not giving up. You know what I'm saying? Ebony do not care. And so, in the spirit of what we're going to be talking about, the Black barbershop, because a person in a barbershop can have the same experience being very green. What do you say to all of those future or new? Now, when we say new, we're not talking about like age. We just meaning like a skill set. Because Ebony is definitely a grown woman. She's a grandmother, as a matter of fact, like me. Okay. What's up, Eb? Okay. And but what do you say? Yes, and that just goes to show you.
Well, not a grandmother, but I'm a grandparent. So
right. So here she is. She, you know, we like neck and neck in age. We got the same status, but she's coming in very green. And she could say stuff like, you know, I'm a grandmother too. You know, I'm a mother too, and you up here talking, I got to stand up and hold this mannequin in front of all these customers and, you know, practice this Afro hair science way of shampooing hair. I got to, you know, use this language, but she's sticking with it. So what are you saying to all of the new talent that's entering the industry, just like Ebony, who's very green? And I mean, so everything that she was taught in cosmetology school, like Cheryl said, that was to make her legal, right?
Yes, that's the technical, the practical skills, right?
But once you get in a professional workspace, it's totally different. So talk about that. So let's talk about that, and then Cheryl, you're gonna come in after him, and we're gonna jump right on into the topic. What are we saying to those that fresh talent that's like, what? I gotta do it like this. I gotta say it like that. I gotta dress like that. What?
Yeah, I think that everybody that's new into the industry, I think they need to find a mentor, right? Somebody that has taken that journey, so they can help them miss those pit holes that are in the industry, you know, that we all probably went through, and it can help guide them through. You know, shameless plug, right? I just finished a book called The Barber Mentor, and it talks about
did you bring it? Did you bring it?
No. It's I finished writing. The hard work is done, right? So I still have to do some editing. I still have to do a little bit of rewriting, but the whole thought process of sitting up to 3-4 o'clock in the morning, that portion of it,
I can relate.
Yeah. So I think a mentor, right? And even though it's called the Barber Mentor, hairstylist, anybody can use this book. I just designed it up underneath the industry that we're in, right? So it can kind of, you know, really kind of fit into where I am in my career, and which is, you know, the barber as well. Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what's your take on green coming? And you, wait a minute, you're green and you're grown. You know, like I said, Ebony is very much an adult. Because and I'm not saying she's egotistical. I'm not trying to say that, guys, you know, but there is a part of her that was like, wow, I feel like I'm like really starting anew, but she is determined. And so, like I said, we're taking her out to dinner, you know, just to say how much we appreciate her. We brought her flowers and everybody behind her. Yeah, because when you're green, especially as a and a cosmetologist, you know, it can be a little tough. Cheryl, what are we saying to the green talent that's grown and young?
I don't think the industry has ever
foreign, because the foreigners are being attacked. You know, the immigrants, they're being really attacked. Really so the young, the foreigners, and the immigrants, and the elders.
Yeah. Two things. I don't think the industry has ever dealt with adult students.
Really?
Yeah, because you have to remember they're full adults. Every learning industry thinks that their students are children.
Yeah, are coming out of high school, right?
Right.
Fresh out of high school, right?
Yeah. And and cosmetology is a special kind of skill set. And you are coming a little experienced in life, not the craft, but in life. And you should have certain adult mores about you. And so I don't think the industry is really, I think by the time you are in your 30s, 40s, they're assuming that you should be well in your career. It's ageism. But I will say that, we will tell them to go get a mentor, right?
Right.
And that's one level to it. The issue for me is that you have to learn how to be a mentee, to make sure.
True. So true.
Right. To make sure that, and we were having this conversation. I was with my media partner, Cloudcast Media, Charles. You've met Charles, Ladosha. And one of the things that mentees don't realize, you're not just there to learn to be selfish and get something from a mentor, right? You're there to make the mentor want to relinquish all the things that made them Picasso.
Yes.
And to make them, because if you endear them, they're going to give you more than what you actually think you came for.
Absolutely.
You're going to get something so much more intangible and things that you didn't even. And so there's a process, I think. And, and that's why I think the industry and the professional industry has to be more involved with higher learning. I don't know how many times I told.
Well, after this podcast, hopefully. After this podcast, maybe we'll
turn your barbershops and your salons into higher learning institutes. They don't necessarily have to pay any exorbitant amount, but they can, offer you something. I truly believe that.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay,
we got. I totally agree with you. Now, the cool thing about the Barber Mentor, the book, is that I start off talking about finding mentorship, but it also shows how to become a mentor towards the end of the book. So by the end of the book, right, we're not trying to duplicate ourselves. We're just bringing them up to the standard and expecting them to carry on what we have taught them, but also to be able to go past that portion and to carry on that legacy and to show other people how to become mentors.
Absolutely.
That's needed. So we're jumping the podcast off again. We're talking about the Black Barbershop, the history, right? We're going to talk about some of them problems, and we're definitely going to talk about some solutions. And so far, we've came out the gate giving a super duper shout out to my colleague, Miss Ebony, and both of our guests, and my co-host rather, and Mr. Marishall are definitely recommending, number one, if you're new, come on and let's get you a mentor. And then Cheryl says, but at the same time, you want to prep yourself to be a mentee, and I could definitely relate to that. So let's so without further ado, we're going to move right into the topic now. Marishall, when we were on here last, we talked about the venerable Pierre Toussaint, and we decided that he would be the let's just say perfect. After all, I think he is maybe. Oh, is that somebody's phone?
You got a phone on, Marishall?
No.
Okay.
Oh,
I hear feedback.
Okay, I'm like,
okay.
We got it? Okay.
Yep.
You still hear it? Okay.
Nope.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. And so we decided that we would start off with the venerable, which I think if he isn't a saint, he's about to be a saint. Okay.
No, he's venerated.
Oh, he's venerated.
He is Saint Pierre Toussaint.
Oh, okay. Well, I was looking at something. Oh, that's typical of Kilo. Okay, he is venerable. Well, I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I know what venerable meant, but I was talking good, wasn't I, y'all? Sometimes you can look smart, be dumb as hell. Anywho, I digress. But I'm just telling the truth according to proof, okay? Because I have it right here, Venerable Pierre Toussaint. Okay, so we're gonna start with him, and we're starting all the way at the top. All right. So we're gonna, and then Cheryl, if you could just briefly, we ain't gonna drag it on, but we have to pay homage because we talked about that. As a matter of fact, we do have our 2 Substacks. And I talk about this. Cheryl has a wonderful, y'all please subscribe to our Substacks because we be writing our butts off, man. Let me tell you, if we could do the natural movement all over again, look at Cheryl with her little sexy MF, okay? And then I have mine's. That's like, it's like taking candy from a baby. And you know me. I'm for the underdog because that's just who I am. And so when we think of the venerable Pierre Toussaint, here's a person who was truly for the underdog. So I'm just going to play a clip about him because he would be like that gold standard as we move this conversation along into the Black Barbershop, because he definitely set the tone for professionalism beyond the skill set. So here we go.
History fact took place 259 years ago, in which Pierre Toussaint was born, formerly an enslaved Haitian American barber and philanthropist. He was freed in 1807 after the death of his mistress. Pierre took the surname of Toussaint in honor of Toussaint L'Ouverture, a leader of the Haitian Revolution. Toussaint also became a successful barber and used his wealth for various philanthropic causes. The Toussaint sheltered orphans and fostered numerous boys in succession. Toussaint supported them in getting an education and learning their trade. He sometimes helped them get their first jobs through his connections in the city. He also created a credit bureau, an employment agency, and refuge for priests and needy travelers. He transitioned June 30th, 1853.
Ah, man, what you talk about now. I mean, now he ain't the first person to, by the way, he was, I don't know if we heard that, but he was Haitian. And this dumb president trying to, anywho. But he took his last name in honor of Toussaint L'Ouverture, right? And we know Booker T. Washington did the same. I'm just talking about, you guys were talking about mentee, mentor, you know what I'm saying? So they took on the personification of the people who they admire. So I might change my last name to Benson Morrow. It might go down like that sometime in life. So if I do it, hey, it just be that way sometime. Philanthropy and excellence. So he was a barber stylist like Yate. He not only was a barber, but he also styled hair. So, but we have, so that's a foundation that was built coming out of slavery. So when we think about, his name, we think about philanthropy, we think about excellence. So Marishal, you're the guest. Can we start those 3 points that I extrapolated from the video? Why is that important for a professional barber? His name, philanthropy, and excellence. And then Cheryl, if you can answer the same question.
Okay, well, I think a name matters, right? The name that you either choose or the name that you're born with, to be in the industry and to have something to build upon. And then when we're talking, okay, you said his name,
it could just be the name, philanthropy, and excellence.
Right. So, back in the day, before A.B. Moeller and the schools started, apprenticeship was the way of learning how to barber or style hair, right? You would learn by the master barber that was inside of the shop. And I think that tradition still happens to, we've kind of lost it because of, the schools and everything else that's going on. But a lot of the times inside of Black barbershops, I know we do it here, right? At Heritage, my barbershop, and also my other barbershop, Akil's Imperial Cuts. We do the apprenticeship portion, no matter, because going to get a license doesn't make you a professional, right? It's all of the soft skills that come along with it, knowing how to deal with your clients or the people that are coming into the shop, knowing how to build a clientele. So all of those things matter. And the name, right? Because if someone, like if I have a barber that's inside of here and this barber say is smelling like weed, he's cussing all the time, he's disrespectful, he's not greeting people when come in, when they leave the shop, they're not gonna say, oh, so-and-so that's over at that shop, they're gonna say Heritage Barbershop is very rude, I wouldn't go to that shop, da-da-da. So all of that, all of the things that you have said, my father was a master barber for over 50 years. So his legacy lays on the line. So I think all of that matters on what's presented that comes when someone comes into the shop, how they're greeted, right? I make sure, me and my brother, Rodney, we're the co-owners of Heritage Barbershop. We make sure that even the bathroom is clean, because we know that when ladies come in, right, and they go to the restroom, if that restroom is dirty, they may not bring their son or daughter back into the shop. So every little piece makes a difference. It's a standard of professionalism that needs to be held at a standard high inside of our community. And we need to, I see too many barbershops, I don't want to go on attack, but I see too many barbershops that doesn't meet that standard.
Okay. And what about philanthropy and excellence? And then sure, you can come right after him. And y'all get y'all questions. Well, y'all can drop some comments too. So should barbers be philanthropists or practices?
Yes, yes, that's where it's built at, right? Inside the barbershop. Once you are inside the barbershop, let's take Alonzo Mourning, for example, right? First Black millionaire, first born into slavery, right? He comes out, he becomes an apprentice barber. He owns the barbershop, one of the largest barbershops in Atlanta, becomes one of the first, or if not the first Black millionaire out of Atlanta, and then go on to start the Atlantic Life Insurance Company, right? And then we have John Merrick, right? John Merrick was the Carolina Mutual Life Insurance Company, right? But he was also a barber. So these things are built inside of our culture, right? And we need to go back to that. And we can start teaching from our perspective.
All right. That's powerful. Okay. Now, what's up? My boss is in the chat. Hold on. My boss is in the building. Now, y'all don't think I have a boss, but I'm here to tell you my boss, there she is right here. Y'all drop them L's in the chat for my boss, Lavina. What's up, baby? I love you. I love you very much.
What's up, boss?
Mary Shaw, we got a special shout out to you in the chat, which I would just like to concur right quick from my homegirl, LB, my fellow baloney connoisseur. Another cute guest. Let's just give him a big round of applause. I know I wasn't the only one who recognized that. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't the only one. I was like, Flavor Flav. You know what I'm saying? All right. Okay. So, Cheryl, I'm going to add some intensity to your response. Cheryl, you dropped it in. But I'm going to come in like a young one. Or what does my name, and whether I give that I'm excellent or not, how is that gonna put money in my pocket today? I spend all this money on food. I got to pay this booth rent, I rent the law, so I open the barbershop. Y'all sitting up on the podcast talking about some name matters, be philanthropic, and excellence. What are we saying to the skeptic? Who just like, I'm really not, I ain't on that. I got my own time. Rest in peace.
let me say it this way.
Okay.
Just on the name thing, and I'll take it one by one.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's not about your name. It's what goes on your name. Because if bad news gets on your name, you understand what I'm saying, brother? Don't get caught up when we say name. We just saying that for lack of a better, way of saying it. But let something get bad on your name. So it's not. We don't want you to focus on just making a name for yourself. It's what gets. When people say keep your name out your mouth.
Yeah.
Well, when you in business, you want your mouth, your name in their mouth.
In their mouth.
But
that's right.
What they say about you, okay? And let me just say and dovetail that into Pierre Toussaint. People really don't know that it was his excellency and his philanthropy, right? He was a good hairstylist. He was a good barber. Don't get me wrong. But one of the things that must become real is that he was the greatest, and he's considered the greatest model Catholic. And there's a reason why. Because on the plantation, he was already a barber. On the Haitian plantation. Okay? He was already a barber, excellent hair cutter and coiffure. What happened is that his old owner died. Right?
Okay.
And he went off to New York. Word got to him that the wife, she had fallen into lower class in ruins. He flew back to Haiti to the plantation, and she wanted to still look like she had not lost her class. And she was still high society, an aristocrat. Right?
Okay.
He created this real huge, big plantation party. And the story is that all of the white rich people drank the champagne that he had paid for. And he served it. And so that is the kind of story about creating. She didn't call a white man. She called Pierre and said, I lost. The point is that man must have poured in, no matter what, if he was a servant or not. And so when we are all really actually servants behind the chair in our salon businesses and in our shops, people come to you, and they came to Mr. Morrow. I saw it 1,000,000 times. And I know they come to Ladosha. When our community people have problems, they'll come to a barbershop because that's the epicenter of Black intelligence, Black money, Black prosperity, Black abundance and affluence, but most of all, Black protection and affection. And so that is everything. That is the name, then the reputation. That's the philanthropy, because they know, the brown boys are going to, protect them and say, hey, we may not know something, but we know somebody that knows somebody, right? And that is just right. That is the legend of the footsteps that we are in, whether we like it or not.
Gotcha.
Okay. Because the institution in and of itself is probably bigger than all of us.
All right. So what I want to go, that's powerful. All right. So for those of you who are, for those of you who are just entering the business, maybe you're re-entering, or maybe you're kind of feeling like a little sluggish. I think that everybody kind of gets that way, and they're like, I need some more excitement. Cheryl and Mirashaw just gave you guys 3 good points on name, on philanthropy, and excellence. But we do have the like I said, I started off with the show. Mirashaw, you weren't here, so I was talking about y'all like a dog. You know what I'm saying? Y'all low key, Lo Lo. The barbers are just they're the hottest thing trending on social media. Some good, some bad, but you can say that about anything. But for real, the barbers are really like all over the place. But I want to start this conversation off about the Black Barbershop. And this light, for 2 reasons. One, because somebody might be doing some research out there, ready to start their own business, and they just need some more history, some more ideals. And then 2, you do have people in our industry who just don't know the history, and they don't know what they're doing, and they might be trying to start all over, messing everything up, when they don't realize that we actually have something. So in this barbering game, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to play 2 clips. All right. One, we have to start it as slavery, just so people can understand that this was not just something that was given. We actually made this, our ancestors made this happen. That's number 1. And then number 2, Cheryl always talks about the barbershop being this distinguished club for gentlemen. Now, this is not to knock out women, but that was just what it was. Okay. In that, within that distinguishedness, right, you had this act of, a business building within a business, which you just gave us like 3 good examples of 3 barbers who took their business beyond barbering into insurance and so on and so forth, right? And then you have them taking it out into an actual service. Somewhere it's got a little murky. Okay. So let me play the first clip, and then I'm going to play the second clip. And we have to talk about this distinguished gentleman, because today barbers are like, I ain't trying to do that. That was Alonzo and them,
Right.
I'm Sir Jones, So let's play the first one. And you guys drop your comments in the chat. Tell us about your barber. If you can, shout out your barber so people can know who your barber is. And if you're a barber and you feel like you need some help, stick around, because Cheryl and Mirashaw is going to help you guys out. But let's play that first clip. We're talking about Up from Slavery.
And so barbering comes out of that larger tradition. Barbers began as personal servants to their masters, who certainly shaved them, took care of their coats, in some cases were their valets, and certainly through that, enslaved men would use barbering to get off the plantation. So in downturning economies, masters would hire out their skilled slaves to earn some extra money, and barbers took advantage of this. And so barbers were often among the slaves who were hired out. And this gave them mobility. They were able to, in some cases, set up shop in the city. And with the earnings from their barbering work, they had to send a portion of it back to their master.
All right. So that's a fact. And Cheryl, you talked about that downturning economy. And this is where Madam C.J. Walker, Annie Turbo Malone, they come in on the scene and they just kick the ballistics like no other. So there we have, we're starting it off from slavery. And now we're going to take it to modern day. Now I'm getting these off of TikTok, by the way. Now here's a gentleman who's talking about the distinguishedness. Sure, help me out with that word. Y'all know of the distinguished club of barbering. Okay, of barbers. Sorry, here we go.
The history of barbering. Here's something most people don't realize about barbering. This profession goes back thousands of years. In ancient civilizations, barbers were highly respected. Not just for grooming, but for their role in the community. In fact, during the Middle Ages, barbers were also surgeons. That's where the barber pole comes from, the red representing blood and the white representing bandages. Over time, barbering evolved into what it is today, a craft built on precision, tradition, and attention to detail. But one thing has never changed. The barbershop has always been a place of connection, conversation, and culture. At Razor King, we honor that tradition, while elevating the standard for modern grooming. This is more than a haircut. This is a craft. Stay sharp.
Nice.
Pretty distinguished. What's up, chat? Yeah, y'all like that. Y'all like that. Now, again, because Marishaw, you are our guest, so we're gonna keep your handsomeness, all that goodness in the hot seat, okay? Because I think now I'm on the outside looking in, and I've had the blessed opportunity to work with barbers, not alongside, like, in a barber shop, but I've had barbers, because now barbers can be in the hair salon, you know what I'm saying, and vice versa. Okay. So I've had the blessed opportunity to be in their spaces in that regard, but we have to start the conversation of barbering off with this distinguishedness. Help me out, girl. I'm struggling over here. So with these being very distinguished men, okay, why, how, and is it that the surgeon part of the history, because he said that this barbering profession is thousands. I thought it was hundreds of years. I didn't know it was thousands of years old. Okay, but he said thousands of years old. So would it be that it's associated with the surgeon? Because when you think of distinguished, you do think uppity, right? So if you and Cheryl could just ping pong back and forth with this air of distinguishedness, because I'm gonna be honest, I can't say I see that. I don't know if distinguished like playing out like ain't nobody on that board. You know what I'm saying? So how and why did this distinguishedness get associated with barbers? Why is that, or was it important? So Marishaw, you take it, sure, y'all go back and forth.
Okay. So in the beginning, right, we can trace, one of the reasons why we can trace barbering back to say 5,000, 10,000 years ago is because it is actually written in hieroglyphics on the walls in Egypt, right?
What?
So you have people growing hair.
How many of y'all know that? Now I ain't know that. Now God.
Now, that's written history, right? But even before that, if you take it back to Kush, there were barbers, and they were like, the barbers were the priests, right? The medicine men. So as time came forward, it also became part of the barber surgeon, which was the surgery or the dentistry. And I want to say around the 1400s is when they actually separated the two. So surgeons weren't able to practice barbering, and barbers weren't able to practice surgery. But the barbers did hold on to the dentistry portion of it. And around the 1700s, they actually separated that. But the barbers left holding the pole, right? So that image of the red and white twirling pole has become the image of a barber. So if you see that pole anywhere in the world, you know that there's a barber near. Actually, in the United States, it's illegal for a salon to have a barber pole in their salon without having a licensed barber.
And can I just add on to that? I have a barber. We have a barber license, and we can have a barber. But we actually had a barber, and we had the barber pole. And when I tell, that's like, you have anybody don't think about like fraternities and sororities, like you can't wear the letters. Man, they came up on me like, yo, G, what you doing with that? They was like, no, I'm not he is not lying.
No, that's
they
true.
Was like, oh, you taking that, excuse me, y'all, you taking that shit off your door. I was like, oh, what y'all doing? I ain't gonna lie. And if I didn't show my license, them barbers, I'm no disrespect to me as a woman. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say, but I'm gonna tell you right now, if I did not show them license, I promise you they was gonna snatch that shit off my door. I know it was that serious. See, that's what I'm saying. We gotta have these conversations because I mean they ain't tell me it was all like that. I'm just saying, okay, I have
to I'm sure it was. You know, and let me just say when you study fashion and you study beauty, every culture has its, you know, and there, of course, Africa is the whole continent. It has its own beauty culture. It has its own historical beauty contribution.
Across
and
the board.
When you come to, and of course, Black American men, okay, because we were in charge of the livestock. See, it went from livestock to.
I'm sorry, can't get your ass off the check. I'm with her though. I didn't know, and Marisol, you just blew all of us back with that. But go ahead, Cheryl. I'm sorry. It's K.
You know, and so I think West Africa, they cut hair in front of the client. They don't cut hair from the back.
From the back, right?
They don't lay you down. They actually prop you up.
That's
and
true.
They cut you from the front. And so, but here's the thing. Our relationship with blades and knives and weapons in the hands of Black men, in order for them to even have or use such machinery, they had to be a professional of some sort. And so because
it's professional and distinguished, are those the same
but
thing?
Think about all the men, because of course there you have the word tonsorial. Tonsorial is a man with that of a blade master. And because surgeons they are in charge for a bloodletting. They're in charge of knives, scalpels, very sharp implements. But Black men could not have those things before they had what we call industrial shears, industrial clippers, because Black people didn't even we didn't shave our sheep with electrical clippers the way Europe, because you have to remember, Europe created the sheep and wool in industries in the 16th, 17th, and 18th century. And so we were doing all of that. Now here comes, you know, the blade, and then now we had, if you guys can look up the young gentleman who invented the razor strop. I forgot his name. I think it's, I can see his face.
Mm-hmm.
But someone in the chat can look it up. It's the African American young man. But my point is that colonial plantation is where Black men begin to create the difference and create what we call the classic distinguished gentleman.
Yes.
Because European men were not known as being clean and smelling good and very hairy, and you know, Black men began, and I'm talking early 20th century, of course, 1919, when you're going, because they didn't run into Mr. Wall until about 1918.
Right, 1919, 1918,
And so that didn't come, but you also have to remember, Black Americans, I'm talking about the second, third, fourth, fifth generation of African slave labor in class, chattel slavery class. We created a whole nother barbering approach
and standards, right?
Because ours were never separate from hygiene. Hygiene and barbering and clean shaving and taking hair off because of all the parasitic issues that other races of people had is not our history. It's not our culture. So that's where, and you guys realize that, I don't know if you guys realize that, if you guys ever seen movies and you will see movies of assassins, you will see MI6, you will see KGB, you will see CIA, and you'll see mercenaries and people who are espionage. They're always well dressed.
Yes.
In fact, the secret societies hide themselves within the world of high-end tailoring and fabric and things of that nature. So it kind of gets the fashion and the extinguished League of Distinguished Gentlemen, because Black men, even though they were segregated, they had to make their clothes. Their clothes were always custom made to fit. They were always, because they had to. So that is where that comes from. Yeah.
Wow, that's I'm with you, Wike. That's very powerful. Now, Marshall, you are in the barbershop. You're there.
Yes.
Not sure. Now that ain't what we do. You know what I'm saying? Do you think the distinguishedness is it still there? Has it morphed into something else? Where is the excellence now that Cheryl has given us a very, that's the hair oracle. She gonna tell it like a TI is. So where is the industry now?
It's still there. It's still here, right? But there has been a shift, right? We have to, but the part of the cleanliness, right? Looking sharp, looking good, all of those pieces are still there. And even if it's coming from, the neighborhood, these guys are still coming in, and they're coming in to get that look, to look better, right? To look more distinguished, right? Especially our working class individuals especially inside of the Black community.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're saying that the distinguished.
I definitely would agree.
Okay, it's still there. Okay, because I'm just talking about my experience now, y'all.
There is a swag to Black barber culture, Black beauty culture, that is just not found in other, and I know the Mediterranean, the Mesopotamian, and the, and the Ottoman and the Turkish and, and the Arab world and, and other European cultures, they like to be very spiritual with it.
Right.
But it is very prestigious because they to be dressed and groomed. See, ours was about adornment and groom.
I got you. Okay.
Not
I
just hygiene. Yeah.
I got you. Okay. All right. I'm just trying to move it along. So we only got 30 minutes, y'all. So that's
absolutely.
Okay. All right. Okay. So now we have we got the backdrop, we have the distinguishedness or whatever. Now there's this thing called barbershop talk. Okay. Well, now listen here, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Okay, now before we get a little raunchy with the barbershop talk, I gotta give a super duper shout out to our de facto producer. I saw this on Instagram. Good Lord, that is Esther T. Jones, who, by the way, in case you guys are new to our platform and you're wondering how do we come up with this wonderful idea to bring on other professionals in our industry so that we can help share and broaden the knowledge of hair, skin, and nails, it would be this young lady here, Miss Esther T. Jones. So she is as beautiful as these flowers and intelligent as the ethers that make them grow. Okay, so I just want to give her a special shout out. So now that we have the backdrop with the distinguishedness and we're moving into the barbershop talk. Now the barbershop talk is very It's very peculiar, you know. But I now I did some research. Like I'm not in the barbershop, so Marisol, you're gonna have to help us out. Now, again, it's function and it has history as you break this down.
Yes.
But the barbershop talk wasn't always just, you know, what's that potty mouth talk? Okay. Yeah. So barbershop talk, I did not know this. I did some research, was actually a place where Black men did business.
Yes,
They did
business.
and
Yes.
yes, they did business in these spaces because they were denied access to the boardroom. So on the outside, it kind of looked like it was just some brothers in there, like, you know, but they
Yes.
did business and they did politics.
Yes.
So let's talk about barbershop talk in all three areas, the potty mouth. Definitely I did not know that. I was surprised to learn that is where a lot of Black men, you know, they go there, they do business. I figure they probably talk about church, that kind of stuff, and politics for sure. But I did not know business was taking place there. So let's talk about the barbershop talk in those three aspects, and then sure you jump in because your father clearly he has some business going on, and I'm going to show a clip, and this is just a segue of what other things you can do with the business, but we have to talk about that barbershop talk so that people like me won't think y'all just sitting there talking about, you know, a big butt and a smile. Okay, so here we go.
Being a barber gives you the opportunity to make more than one sources of income. I know a lot of barbers listen to this like, what other way can I make money other than cutting hair? That's the thing. You gotta think outside the box. When you're a barber, that pomade you put on that client's hair to make them waves pop, you need to be having a wholesale account with the barber plug so you can have extra pomade so you can sell it to them after they get out the chair. That aftershave, you need to, again, have 6 aftershaves so that when you spray it on that client, you're like, damn, what is that? You're like, hey, I can get you about a $15. You bought it for $12, but you selling it to them for $15, $18. You could be making content. You can have that phone propped up all day like a streamer and just be streaming. You can be on YouTube with it. You can be giving tutorials. You can be entertaining. There is more than one way to skin this cat. And as a barber, you got to find all types of ways. If you don't at least have 3 streams of income, I can't say you're not hustling, but partner, you ain't doing something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he had an earful to say, but I just really wanted to highlight out of that, that was very inspiring to me. But that this whole business side that takes place in the barbershop, in the you know the banter and all that good stuff back and forth. So let's talk about what's being talked about in the barbershop, what you like, what you don't like, what you hear, what you shouldn't hear, and just the whole business and the other things that we don't know.
Okay. Yeah. So of course, you know the latest happening, entertainment, right? Movies, what movies are out, sports are definitely being, but business is also, right? We have business classes in here.
But y'all before you go there, y'all get a little animated. Cause it's a barbershop next to the hair salon. Yeah. I ain't trying to talk about barbers, but man, y'all get so riled up.
Yes.
I thought I was getting ready to call. I thought they was fighting over there.
No. And everybody's having a good time. Yes.
I had to go look like, is they gonna be somebody up? So it was just so, to me, it was just so sure. I was like, oh, they're so rough.
Inside the barbershop, a Black man is able to present himself, right? He's able to be himself. So by getting loud without everybody looking like it's going to be a problem, right? We could do that inside the barbershop. This morning, we actually had a financial advisor in, and he was giving some nice little jewels on some of the investments and ways of saving money and things to invest in. So we have a couple of politicians that come in, right? They give the insight of what's really happening inside of the politics. And, you know, I'm here in Sacramento, California. This is the capital of California. So a lot of politics, we get a lot of people from the Capitol, or state workers or federal workers that come to the shop. And we get a lot of insight that's happening inside of politics. Why to vote one way and why not to vote another way? What's really going on behind the scenes? So yeah, the barbershop, you can find out all of that information. And that's probably one of the reasons why you hear everybody getting riled up, right? And the conversations going crazy.
Because I went over there like, what the hell going on over here, y'all?
And they may have been talking about the NBA finals, right?
Okay, so the business part that takes place in the barbershop is really, really important, because like you said, they're not only are they just, actually doing business, but they're explaining business, they're talking about politics, they're merging it all together. So it's kind of like a secret underground, like it's not for it's a club that everybody can't get in. Obviously, I wasn't invited, clearly. But anywho, because they showed up.
Real quick. I didn't realize that because I grew up in it, right? So I didn't know that it was like this was something that other people didn't know. It was regular for me, right? And I was like, oh, I'm inside the barbershop. A great example is my father used to cut Nathaniel Colley's hair. Okay, here I am, 8, 9, 10 years old inside the barbershop. He's like, hey, young man, you gonna go into politics, or you gonna be a lawyer, or you gonna be a barber like your dad? I don't know who this guy is. I mean, I know him as one of the clients that come in, one of the customers that come in. We always say, hey, what's going on, Mr. Colley? But I didn't realize of how much work he did on the outside, right? Until I started getting older. I was like, oh, we're talking civil rights attorney, and now my dad used to cut George Duke's hair when he was younger, right? I'm a child. I'm not realizing all of the information that I was surrounded with until I started talking to people that hadn't came to a barbershop or didn't know anything about the inside of a barbershop. And they was like, oh, you guys really talk about that? Oh, you guys?
I'll be honest. I am one of those people. I have 2 sons, but I didn't take them to the barbershops. Their father, my brothers. So I had no idea. I just put up to the door and I sent them in, or they came back out. I never literally stepped a foot inside of a barbershop. And when I did, I was like, oh my, I didn't feel comfortable. So I left that. So Cheryl, now your father was like the epitome. He was the embodiment of everything that we set up. He had the history, he definitely had that. He's got the philanthropy. He has the excellence. And now he's in there doing the business. So you hear this man that's saying that not only is he's talking about business, like Mary Shaw said, amongst each other and doing other businesses, but he's talking about business of the barbershop within a business, or within a business. So you got 3 layers of businesses that can take place in one physical space called the barbershop. And the Black barbershop does this a little uniquely. So let's talk about your father in those unique areas, per that young man who clearly was in the spirit of your father, that barbers are not just the hands, as he said. It's not only about cutting hair. And Mary Shaw, you can jump in and you and Cheryl can go back and forth, because I'm out my lane.
There's also one element we have to talk about, and the reason why, 2 things. It's not so much doing business. It was the hub for what we call commerce.
Yes.
And commerce, it allowed us to, and that's why you see today, as unconscious as it may be, the reason why we allow other people to sell things to us, like food, lunch, something to eat, or maybe
purses.
An item, purses and jewelry, and because we realized that we had a captive audience. Not only a captive audience, and I want you guys to realize something. The Black Salon and Black Barbershop, because it is an epicenter of commerce, meaning, and this is why we have to do better in making sure that we become industrial again. We're not just hands and chair and shop and technical. We're in the beauty business. We're in the beauty industry, right?
Yes.
And so you have to realize that the barbershop and salon is very cash heavy.
Yes.
Okay. We didn't really, do cards until maybe the mid 1995s. Okay. And so we are a business of disposable income. Hairstylists and barbers were always the most affluent because we had an access to immediate cash flow. We were the first cash flow businesses in urban America, no matter what. That's why we funded all the Greenwoods to Tulsas and all of these Black towns, okay? Because people would pay us cash, okay? We didn't have credit, right? We were cash on demand, cash and carry, cash and cut, cash and style, right? And so when you think about the importance of that element as it is, even though we're swiping and we're, tapping, but we are a very cash rich commerce, sitting right in the middle of every Black and urban.
So are you saying that with that cash, we wasn't just, going to buy clothes. We actually did something with that.
It was a place. First of all, we have to say, let's just put it on out there. We were segregated. Yes. So by virtue, we made the best of that. And that is one of the reasons why I don't like Black folks saying what we don't bounce. Well, we may need to do it better now, but let's not say we never did it, because we did.
Right. We did.
We had.
Yeah. Now your father, he decided to take. Now, I'm not saying he took his cash. I wanted, the IRS like, oh, Mr. Morrow wasn't that, but he took his cash, his money, and he invested, and he did other businesses, within that business.
He reminds me of something Magic Irvin Johnson said.
Yes.
And I never forget, he came here. He was the keynote speaker for the Black Chamber of Commerce about 26 years ago, right? 27 years ago. Anyway, the one little girl raised her hand. She asked him, "What do you invest in, Mr. Johnson? You didn't do investment, blah, 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 blah." He said, "Well, because I'm not obviously he was educated. And, Magic Johnson will cut a verb in a minute, right? But, he only invested in things he really fundamentally understood, right? Okay. Mr. Morrow only invested in things that could pay him first, which means that he could, create something. But Mr. Morrow bought a whole radio tower with $1 million cash in a briefcase.
Nice.
And took his number one disc jockey with them to sign the lease. But the point of the matter is that we have a lot of stock value, stock options, and stock if we can just get in the business of beauty and not the business in shops. Okay. Right.
All right. So let's go there. Go ahead, Mr.
Okay.
Murphy. Go ahead.
The cool thing about it is that dollar, right, rotates in the Black community. So when they come to the barbershop or the Black barbershop or hair salon, that's one time it's moving through the Black community. But we're also taking that dollar and we're going to the Black bookstore, we're going to the Black restaurant, and so now that dollar is moving, that dollar is staying in the Black community, compared to a lot of times people get paid, they pay rent, the dollar's gone. They go to the grocery store, that dollar's gone. So having these Black businesses is very helpful, and we need to get back to, right? Because they want to cut us out of everything, DEI and everything else, right? So we just need to come back home, right? And start recreating.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Mr. Morrow would always say, if you don't say it, then it's not really real. Okay. So have you ever realized that you and your brother are actual job creators?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So if you're a job creator, and if you think about that really, because of course, Black people, especially in this industry, and I tell this to Ladosha so many times, she is a job creator.
Yes.
Job creators, once you think like that, you are immediately exposed and eligible to every tax bracket in America, every tax break in America. Okay. Yes. But you got to know that you are a job creator. Now think about it. If beauty and barber is the number one choice of entrepreneurship, second, it's the highest disposable income business. Then it is connected to the most FCMG, fast consumer moving goods, fast moving FMCG, fast moving consumer good. Okay. Then you move consumer goods, products, pomades, shampoos, conditioners, lotions, and things of that nature, right?
Yes.
So you put those two together, job creator, okay? So my point is that we even have to start thinking and calling ourselves, yeah, I know you own a salon, yeah, you may be paying a lease, blah, 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 but you offer jobs. We started the podcast by really encouraging Ebony, right? So Ebony is actually a stock,
right?
Because he can actually generate commerce and revenue and things of that nature. And I think that when we elevate, okay, I know Marishawn, you're probably about 32, 33 years in?
Yeah, 30.
Okay.
36, somewhere around there.
Key Lolo about 26 years in. Okay. And so at that point, and I tell most people, because we're getting ready to do a podcast about Mr. Morrow's life called Grandmaster.
Ooh, nice.
Mr. Morrow did not cut beyond 7 years. And 7 years is important because at that point, he knew that there had to be a transition every 7 years, because at that particular point, we're missing. And so while Heritage and RDT, Reverence Design Team, right, Salon, they have to be called and become and transition to what we call metropolises.
Gotcha.
A metropolis. That means that customer's needs, every customer has at least 3 needs when it comes to Heritage and RDT. Okay. You have to fill this.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm sorry. I'll try to rush you, Cheryl, but we got 10 more minutes now. Okay. 10 more minutes. I'm trying to get everybody in. All right. So now here is the thing. We got, again, I'm just keeping us on the focus here. We got a really good feel for the business and how we can, what we should be doing and what we can do. But Marishawn, is there something that you see in the barbershop by way? Because I think about that young guy who was saying that there's more that a barber can do with his hands than just cut hair. Not barbers, I'm not trying to minimize y'all skills and y'all talents, but what else could the barbers be doing? And she said Mr. Morrow, in 7 years, he was like, okay, it's time to reinvent
to move on, right?
It's like time.
Okay. So one of the things, and I can kind of tell you through my track record, right? So after about 15 years in the game, I went into education, right? Which has led me to writing this book, The Barber Mentor. But also I've developed my own product line, which we have so far. We have a shaving gel, a pre-shave, and an aftershave balm. We also have a skin line. So there, you can go into education. You can go into becoming a influencer. You can go into products, also doing platform work. So there's so many different directions that you could go into as far as staying inside the industry, but still building as you move along. I'm loving the publishing portion of it. This is my pivot right here. Once I drop this book not only is it, it also has a workbook that's attached to it. The cool portion of it is the professional development guide.
Are you looking at it?
Workbook. Huh?
Are you looking at it down there?
Yeah. I got to kind of look at it, right? I had to
hold it up. Let us see a little bit. We ain't gonna ask.
Okay. So these are some of the things that that comes along with the book. So the last, I want to say 12 years, I've really been honing in on the educational portion of learning more about the history. Mr. Morrow, I followed Mr. Morrow, what was it? Correct, 400 years without a comb, right? All of those pieces that he put together, I have really kind of been following. Also, my dad, when he had the barbershop, he had a pool hall in the back of his barbershop. He had a barbecue spot. He had a record store. All of these things that he was building, right? And that's the entrepreneurship portion of being a barber.
He got bit by the entrepreneurial bug. All right.
That's right. Yes.
Okay. Now, I'm gonna say one thing. But before I say it, I just want to say this: as you guys talk about how the barbershops were able to, allow people to come in and sell things, and we could buy the stuff. I'm not making this up. All right. Now, back in the day, we would call that they was like the hot people, right? Or you might say, here come the shoe man, or the meat man, right? The CD man, okay, right? Now, y'all know, everybody, come on, everybody in the chat, Weekend, LaWan, K, please don't say nothing, K, just hold your phone, don't say anything. Everybody over here on Instagram, what's up, Diane DaCosta? We see you. Thank you so much for rocking out with us. Wood, GC, Hair by Mac, everybody over here on Instagram, we appreciate y'all support. But let me tell you what I saw. Okay, real talk. I went into Cosmo Prof, and on everything I own, I am not making this up. They are selling detergent. And I said, excuse me? Are you guys selling detergent inside of a beauty supply store? And she said, you ready, Cheryl?
Makes sense.
One stop shopping. Oh, hell no! But y'all call us ghetto. They talked about us and said, how could y'all allow those people to come into your spaces? And now here you guys are laying out a clear history that was really the norm of what we could do, as Cheryl put it, with this fast, moving goods, whatever you say. Okay. And so we could do all these wonderful things with this cash. And we're not saying we ain't pay our taxes, but I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? And so now you got this company who's copying. I hate to say it. Y'all like, you reaching? No, I am not reaching. Like, this is what we're talking about, this business within the business. And so if you guys could talk to the barbers and let them know, at what point are they thinking about these other modalities? Is it before they enter school, when they enter the school, when they start to get clientele? So sure, maybe you could remember, because you guys have a unique advantage. Now, I ain't trying to hate on y'all, but y'all grew up in it.
Yeah.
But you got people like me Ebony, but you, Yate, like y'all have some wonderful role models, but everybody don't have a Dr. Morrow, a Mr. Brown, a Miss Yate's mom. What are we saying to people in the spirit of the Black barber legacy? At what point are our fellow professionals entertaining these other modalities of what they can do beyond, like Cheryl said, the hand? At what point do you recall your father saying, I'm gonna be out in 7 years, or was it 7 years? I mean, I know he probably didn't just tell you, but if you could reflect back. And then Marishaw, what are we saying to say? You answer the same thing, or to these people who don't have the role models, and to just, when should their antennas go up? I need to really begin to think of something to add on. Maybe, I'm not saying they don't want to be a barber, but
You can think of it as,
I mean, when should they start thinking? Like,
well, before they even start.
Okay.
Because they have to figure out, because you have to understand, I love the beauty industry. I don't love doing hair. I don't love that. Okay. It was through that's my passion and my love.
Okay, I hear you.
Okay. I loved my clients that I turned into customers, my customers that I turned into clients. Okay. And understood, client, lead generation, client retention, client, conversion. I got all that. That's fine. But my passion was never the chair. I don't think Mr. Morrow's passion, his passion was to be able to expand an industry, to take advantage of an industry, and to be a part of all floors. So 360-degree master barber, 9 laws of a master barber, that is a concept, because he knew there was a habit. He didn't want to become a hair cutter. He wanted the chair to take him through the rigors of how to touch a client, what style was about, what design was about, what he wanted to expand it. He was completely a hair nerd, as you would say, Ladosha. So
drop that in the chat, Kay.
Right. Mm-hmm. So 7 years was his cutoff to his next degree, like a white belt, green belt, orange belt, red belt, brown belt, to black belt, right? It was just a degree. And I have to agree with him, because I did regular hair, but then I wanted to do it for an agency, a modeling agency. And then I went into fashion. I just wanted, and I just knew. But one of the things that every mentee, before you pick your mentor, make sure that mentor is doing the epitome of what you want, because they're going to give you the passions. You're going to have to write the pages. You're going to have to write, you're going to have to put your fingerprint and your ass on the line about what it is that you're going to contribute and how you're going to change your industry. Be in love with the industry. So therefore you can go through science and research. Marishall's at publishing. Ladosha did publishing. You know what I mean? And you fulfill yourself, because now you're in a new degree of a 360-degree pie. And so now you can enjoy the other parts.
I totally agree.
I was going to ask you to chime in and add to that, because that could be a podcast. I like the industry, but I don't like doing hair, because I think people get picked on for that. Like if you're not doing hair, like people, if they walk in the salon, they don't see a lot of people. For some reason, they think like you're not in business. I'm like, what the hell? Like, it's so much more to working in a hair salon than just doing damn hair. So let's really, because nobody's talking about it but us. I mean, for real, that's what Esther is in the chat, by the way, Mayor Shaw. There she is, guys. Right quick, I want you to answer that though, too.
Hey, Esther.
There she is. She is a real person. In case people think Esther, they might think we be lying about you. I was just, I stalk her page. I be stalking Esther, okay? But I told them, Esther, you're here so I can tell you to your face, okay? That you are just as beautiful as that flower and the embodiment of the energy that grew the flower, made the flower. That's true. This woman is absolutely beautiful. And she was the one who said, like, ain't nobody talking like y'all. Like, y'all the only ones. I don't hear this. So you, Marisol, because you're in the barbershop behind the chair, you got to convey to the barber out there at what point, like Cheryl said before, at what point are they really entertaining, and what do they do with those thoughts that they might see something? Should I jump on it? Like, help them with, because that's our excellence. With y'all,
I totally agree with Cheryl. Right, you have to go into the game with a plan. Right. Damn. Now, mine. I wish I'd have did 7 years, but mine was every 10 years. Right, every 10 years, I kind of did a pivot. So my first 10 years, I was a cosmetologist. But with my father being a barber, he taught me everything that I needed to know for the barbering portion. Then I went back to school and went and got my license as a barber. About 10 years later, so about 20 years in, I went into education. And now here I am at the 30+ mark, and I'm doing the publishing. This will be the second book, but this book right here, the first book was called Heritage. It was filled with a lot of poems, it was a dedication to my dad. This one right here is kind of, giving kudos to my dad as him being that mentor that I didn't realize that was mentoring me along the way. And it's me carrying on the legacy and passing on that torch to the next. So right now we're 4 generations in. My niece is a cosmetologist and a trichologist. And then I have a couple of nephews that are in the industry as well as barbers. So we're about 4 generations in.
Okay. All right. So barbers, hair professionals, even nail techs and makeup artists, they say that, well, if you haven't done it now is the time to really integrate what else you can be doing. And they don't really care what it is, but you better start thinking about it. Okay. And you got that mentor and so you got to know how to be a mentee. But speaking of mentor and mentee, we have to say major congratulations to our homeboy, the king of lock, Kefele. I went on ahead and ordered some of his products. I got the king and the queen leave-in conditioner. I also got the Kefele K oil. And I'm gonna tell you the truth, that shit's good. If you are a lock, if you are into locks, now I did a video. I'm gonna show it after the podcast because anywho. But I was gonna, if you have locks, then for real, you're doing locks, the 2-strand twist. You probably need to go ahead on and rock the king of lock, king and queen leave-in conditioner and that K oil. So big ups to Kefele. Major congratulations, and again to everybody over on Instagram. We appreciate y'all support. So we got about 10 more minutes. We kind of went a little bit over because both of y'all just be breaking it down, which we appreciate everything. Cheryl, I love the way you just really give us everything in order, and it's so detailed and it's so methodical. Marisol, your lived experience is like unparalleled, but we do have a problem. Yes. I gotta play this clip. Cheryl sent me this shit. Okay.
Okay.
K warning. K, wait until I show the clip. Give me 1 minute before you say something, because I know you're gonna have me laughing. Okay, so K, please be good. Okay. All right. Here's the last clip. Here we go.
Who's charging fees for showing up late or missing an appointment?
I do.
Really?
I do.
Oh, okay.
And I want my money up.
Okay, let me try it again.
Who's charging fees for showing up late or missing an appointment?
I do.
Really?
I do.
Oh, okay.
And I want my money up front too.
Ooh, like the whole cut gets paid for up front?
Yes, ma'am.
I charge a fee if you're late, or if I'm late, you get deducted It's the same, like 10 bucks.
So I scream out. Wow. I be yelling at my clients.
You scream?
Yeah. Absolutely. I yell at mine.
Yeah.
Sir, why you not here? It's 1:15. Your appointment was at 1.
And then move into the next.
And you're gonna
and
get
you've lost
to the
your
back
spot.
of the,
You said the barber.
I usually give grace, especially if it's a new client. So I'll give you like 1 or 2 chances, about 15 minutes, but then we'll have a conversation if I see it's becoming a pattern.
What's that conversation look like? Have any of you ever had to dismiss it?
Apple Pay.
Anybody ever dismissed a client and said, this is not going to work?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Every day.
How do you say that?
Like you just said it. I ain't gonna be able to do it. I ain't gonna be able to do it.
This isn't working out.
It's not working out.
Yeah. I haven't had to dismiss anyone yet, but they know.
Okay. Now, I ain't trying to talk about them. Okay, I'm not. I am, but I ain't. But this is a podcast, so we can have some discourse here. But that does not reek distinguishedness. And I don't know. You got your nerve. You're on the podcast up here cussing. I know. But I don't act like that at work. Okay. Now on this podcast, I am off the freaking effing Richter scale. But at the hair salon, I am totally, and I'm not saying everybody has to be all how Gladys Knight said bougie. Okay, I said everybody got to be all bougie, but when he said that you got to pay this money up front, and I'm not saying it can't be a late fee, but yelling at people and just the whole arrogance, I'm sorry. That was just a total display of just tackiness. And I'm just going to say this, and then Mary Shaw, I'm going to let you have it. To me, and I'm not saying all of them, because there definitely was some distinguishedness up on that panel.
Yes.
And I told Cheryl, the problem that I see in the industry is the lack of representation of elders around these professionals. Because I believe, and I'm just speaking for myself, like, and my aunt, like, I cuss a lot. And she'd be like, you need to be off don't be on that podcast using profanity like that. Because you got our family out here. You better cut that shit out. But because I have an elder who's gonna, woo-ha, I got you all in check.
There you go.
And I think that elders, when I see behaviors like that, I said to Cheryl, they do not have elders around them. Like, this is a podcast, so I gotta be a little, that's my persona, my key Lo Lo persona, okay? But that's just my opinion. When you don't have elders, you have people acting wrong, like in the neighborhood. If you don't have no elders saying, don't you get on that grass, I'm gonna tell your mama, that's just me. So that's my take on it. Sure, you can go first. Mary Shaw, I'm gonna let you go last because you're gonna say the best for last. Sure, you sent me that because my aunt might be watching. I did pass a little bit, but I just,
I don't remember sending you that one. That's the first time I've ever saw that.
Look at now, she gonna try. Yeah, you see that, Esther? Now she gonna try to say, I ain't gonna put you on blast.
Well, first of all, I'd own it if I did. I didn't send you that one. I haven't seen that one.
Okay.
I sent you a lot, so I'll own it. Well, I will say this. I do think that there is a every one of them, I'm sure, is either sweet or booth renters. Guarantee. Right. We'll put it this way. I know that they are not expecting me to come through there. Right. And I'm paying them either a salary.
Okay, Kay, you can
or
say
I'm giving
now.
giving you a commission. I guarantee you, because at that point, here's the thing. The name Morrow brought in every subsequent customer that walked through that door. And because of that, there was an orientation, not an education. Let me just be straight with you. Education could get misconstrued. Orientation is never misconstrued. It is how, when, where, when, straight up. And I believe that they're talking from a very vulnerable position. And though all of those are protections of their eventual instability of their income. And those are all the firewalls that help them to cage in a customer to keep from either going someplace else or not coming at all because life gets to them. And so they want the customer to do all that they can to prevent life happening in their lives that'll cause them to be late, cause them to be able to say, I'm here, but I'm parking, or I'm here, you know what I mean? There is a vulnerability in the barber career that did not exist 40 years ago, 30 years ago, and maybe even 26 years ago.
Can you expound? I know you like Ladosha. Don't be trying to keep me here all night, but for real though, seriously. Can you expound on vulnerability for those of us who might be like, what
okay,
do you mean
let's say, because if I were to work for a Morrow Inheritance Beauty Center, or I would work for Heritage or Reverence Design Team, Lo Lo, aka Madame Linguère, Ladosha Wright, is responsible for the RDT reputation, public relations. She goes to events, she networks, she makes sure that the name of it, the institution, the feel of it, how it feels, because at the end of the day, you know, my whole thing is that your hands have expertise.
Right.
But you need a business that produces expertise. They're not the same thing.
So where's the vulnerability?
When you're left in a dog, what we call, the career has been lowered to a labor force. So now you are trading the labor, and now you're competing against other people's labor. And now you're competing, now you're in an occupation. See, you're in a blue collar. The barber is a blue collar within the last.
So are you saying that? So are you saying that is what's making them vulnerable?
Right. So now they almost now don't even have a public relations part of their business because they're booking online. Right. And now they're not engaged and connected because there's a vulnerability there. They think that the quicker the digital booking is going to help them compete against the next person instead of creating value within themselves, within their product, them as the product, them as the institution, them as the expertise. The person doesn't realize that wealth doesn't fall from the sky. People bring you money. That's how money
That's right.
All right. Now let me do this right quick. I gotta do it. Mara Shaw, and we call that comment there. The esoterics of Cheryl Morrow. Yes, every time Cheryl dropped the ballistics, I have to bring in these, to me, Mara Shaw, are the ancestors and the elders who have, you know, like-minded. Maybe she is the embodiment of some of a portion of their energy, starting with from the left or the right. I don't know which way you're going. Dr. Amos Wilson. And then we have Barbara Sizemore. We have a little bit of Cornell West from former state representative here, Shirley Smith. We got Cheryl in the middle, France Fanon, her father, the legendary Dr. Willie Morrow, and of course, Dr. Katie Wickham. So that's where we get those type of wonderful responses from, because that was powerful. Mira Shaw, now I'm going to drop this comment that's in the chat. Okay. And I gave my take on it. Okay. But sure, you did say something. Okay. That perhaps they are booth renters, okay? But Kay says, here's the issue, Mary Shaw. Hair professionals have been stiffed by clients. And now she questions, is this, that stiffing those stylists, causing the rise in deposits and prepays, and that's the banter that we saw amongst some. Not all of the people on that panel, but can you speak to that and add some more?
I wonder.
And do you think that those were booth renters too? I'm being messy now.
I think that they may have had a suite or something, right? These are, what's kind of missing is the professionalism that goes along with it. I wish I would go to my favorite restaurant and before I sit down and eat, they're giving me the check. Right? We're in the service industry, right? And we have to remember that piece of it. The spotlight is not on us. The spotlight is on the person that's sitting in the chair.
But she said they got stiff though. Come on, Mary Shaw. You got stiff. They gotta get a deposit, Mary Shaw. They bugging now. Come on, Mary Shaw. These customers wilding out, bro.
I've had somebody steal a haircut, right? I've had somebody steal a service. I was cutting hair one day. The shop was packed. I finished the guy's hair, and he was like, "Oh man, I left my wallet in the car." I was like, "All right, bro, yeah, cool." But as I seen him go out the door, I'm getting the next client ready, right? I'm cleaning off the chair, getting the next client. I see his back foot go a little bit higher, like he's running, right? And I walk around, dude is gone, right? Okay, but I just had to take that one for the team, right? It's okay. It's like, now who's your clientele? Who are you servicing? If everybody's running off with your money. If everybody's being late and they're not respecting you, that's something that
your value proposition is low.
Yeah,
your value. I don't stiff my dentist.
Right.
I don't stiff my gynecologist.
Right.
I ain't stiffing. I mean, who does that? But I will understand their value proposition is in trouble. Right. Because they're compete.
Because Kay said she gonna tell her waxing lady. She's not paying it for no more.
Let me say this. Once again, there's no conference. Right. Our industry has a little couple of vulnerabilities. We don't have organization. We're not a very robust and aggressive one. We're going to fill in a couple holes. We understand that, because at the end of the day, if you're worried about that, the client does pay for things first in a lot of industries. So if you want to do that, you can start employing and implementing that business model, but it has to be a business model.
It has to be a business.
You have to shift. They can come because it's called a salon concierge. How are you? How are you? You're coming in for a haircut? Okay. Would you like to come in here and get, and buy the product or blah, 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 blah. If they take them, and that will be, $87.50. And here's your bag. And let me get you dressed. It ain't deep. It ain't hard. But at the end of the day,
but let me just say,
they're struggling because they don't understand the business of beauty. They don't get it.
Hold on now. Both of y'all might be a little bit. I'm about to be a little messy these last 5 minutes we got, okay? Here's what y'all two don't understand. See, I got this thing right here called an app. Okay.
I have it. I have the app.
And these apps can do things that y'all wouldn't even, imagine. So I ain't really got to be worried about no business models and no concierge. Come on, man. I got an app for that. So are they hiding behind the apps? Are they misusing the apps? I mean, because the apps, it comes across like it's supposed to be. Talking. Come on. Now,
the app keeps them. The app keeps them. Let me just say this. I've always said it. Branding is what a customer thinks who you are, your mission and your purpose.
Right.
PR is PR, advertising is advertising, publicity is publicity, marketing is marketing. They don't want to do public relations
Okay, let me pause you right there. Hold on.
They don't want to do it.
Okay, Marisol.
Marisol, come on now.
Are the apps the solution? Are the apps the problem? Come on, because you said I got an app now.
I use Squire, right? I'm gonna give it up to them. And people book on the app and they pay ahead of time on some of them. Do I charge them for no shows? I don't the first time because life happens. I understand, right? I build relationships with my customers. Now, if it becomes a continuing, then I will start to put a deposit down for that time slot that you have taken out that I could have been making some type of money, right? But I'll have a conversation with them after that first time of not showing up, that no-show, no-show.
So you say apps help. You think apps
I think they help. Yeah, I think they help, but you still have to
Okay, let's go in the chat. Chat, we got about 5 more minutes. Chat, how many of y'all like, we like the apps. We like to get on there and make the appointments. Whether you're a barber or customer, it don't matter. Do y'all like the apps? Yes or no? Cheryl say y'all hide behind these apps because y'all don't, it's the communication thing. Marisol say that could be somewhat true, but the apps can definitely, help out. So let me know in the chat, do y'all like the apps? Okay, so sure, keep going. They said okay. Either or, whether you're a customer, it doesn't matter. Just let us know, do you like the apps? Okay, go ahead, Cheryl.
One of the things that is important to me is that salon and barbershop business has to be conversed and taught from from spas, barbershops, salons, anything. And how I learned was that I was a concierge for important people at the U.S. brand.
Okay.
And the reason, because that's called pampering, right?
Pampering, yes.
Right. So at the end of the day, my high-end or high-profile clientele, they don't necessarily have to be celebrities, but they are people whose jets waiting outside, and they ain't got time for all of my shenanigans or any of their shenanigans in that video. Okay,
I ain't trying to brag, but I got one of them too.
They are not going to stiff you. They will probably be more on time than you.
It's so true. Yes.
We don't have beauty think tanks to be able to tell a barber, your chair should start shifting after 5 years to soft cells versus haircutting, because you're going to run into generational, especially depending on the type of skills you have. If you're only doing the skills that are on social media, that kind of client is not tethered to you. They don't care about your time. Okay. They don't care.
Go ahead.
I totally agree with you.
Go ahead.
There are the app that I use is it's a booking app, but it's controlled by me. It's not controlled by the company, right? So I use it for to be able to put the slots in, right? The customer their time. It gives them reminders, right?
They say,
maybe an hour.
They say that's bad because back in the day, you used to just go to the barbershop and the first one there got in. These apps and these damn appointments is effing up the barbershop. That's what they say on the social media.
Okay,
and I showed you that. Sure, you sent that one to me. Cold cuts. Remember, he was talking about that, and they say we don't like them appointments.
But we also take walk-ins. But we have 5 chairs here, so it's like I like my clients. If they want to make an appointment, I let them make an appointment because they get first dibs, right? The walk-ins have to wait because they're walking in. But if you're setting an appointment, that means I'm going to be timely, right? If your time is at 1 o'clock, I'm making sure that I have a grace period of 15 minutes in between appointments. So that way it gives me a little time to run over in case the conversation might get a little bit good, but it also gives me time that I can cleanse everything and I'm ready for the next one to come in. The appointments help me along the way to already kind of predict what I'm going to make during those days that I'm working. I would usually work 2 days a week, Fridays and Saturdays, sometimes Thursdays. But I use the apps for that. But I still continue to go out with business cards and make connections, right? And that one-on-one connect.
That's that business that you're talking about, right, Cheryl?
That's the business portion, right?
Absolutely, because at the end of the day, let me ask you a question. And just be honest, Marisol.
I will.
Okay. And make allowances for 40, 50 years ago in your father's time.
Right.
Pound for pound.
Ounce for ounce, round for round.
Ounce for ounce, round for round, okay?
Uh-huh.
Considering it was a long time ago, who makes more money, you or your dad? Who left more wealth, you or your dad?
Interesting.
Okay, just stop right there. Because I really don't want to get into weeds of it, because I really don't want to know.
Okay.
I already basically know the answer to that.
Right.
But did he have an app?
No, not at all.
Okay. All right.
Not at all.
Okay. What now? I understand the generations are different.
Right.
But I can find just as many black young men, black young women who's talking shit about them app Negroes that got them apps. They tired of that shit. Get your ass on the phone and tell me that your ass is running late.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I got probably one more salon barbershop in me.
So
guarantee you, I ain't gonna do no app. I'm gonna have me a dim mother, and Edna gonna call you 15 minutes prior to your appointment just to see where you are, or do she need to reschedule you?
Exactly.
Okay, jump in, Marisol. Go ahead, jump in, Marisol.
So all of my clients,
it's getting juicy.
All of my clients have my phone number, right? So they may call and say, or text and say, "Hey, Marisol, I'm looking. I have availability, or do you have availability, say on Thursday at 5 p.m.?" I'll check my schedule, right, which I have, and I'll be like, "I don't have a 5, but I have a 6. We can do a 6, or we can go to Saturday, and these are the times that I have available." That's how I do it, right? But I make sure I'm not using like.
So you're using the app as at a glance, so you can see what you're looking at. Okay,
yes.
So that way he ain't go because he ain't going back to that paper book. So the app is just to help him be at a glance.
Is unless
where he go?
Wait a minute, because unless Edna is using the app, I'm not interested. Where is he doing? What's he doing? What's he doing? Come on, what you doing? What you doing?
Tell that girlfriend you gotta wait a minute. You with your other girlfriends. Oh, hit your mute. Hit your mic. You're muted. Hit your mic again. All right. Okay.
So you understand what I'm saying? But let me just say this. No one taught them. They had a lot of celebrity barbers give them bad advice for the last 15, 20 years, okay? To try to talk about them work smarter, work harder. Hell, you gonna work smarter in a cotton field. Shit, you know what I mean? Just pick every other bunch. You know what I mean? Pick every, don't pick every piece of cotton. My point is at the end of the day, Yate, I'm sure Yate agree with me. At 1.5 years, come on, you're muted, Marisol.
Yeah, unmute your mic. You're muted. Let's try it again.
Then I need you to jump in here.
Hold on, wait a minute, y'all. His mic kind of. Nope, you're still muted. Hold on, let me take you out. You're gonna come back in. Hold on, let me remove.
Take you out. We're gonna come back in.
All right, let me move her.
Right, and so you know what I'm saying. At the end of the day,
Here, You take us out. You come all the way out, and then you come back in because we need you back in.
Just come all the way out.
Yeah, you come all the way out the app. Just come all the way out, and then come back in. Okay, he's gonna come all the way out, all the way out. Okay, all right, okay. Well, that got heated. That app. So that just let me know a couple of things.
And then I need Yate on it too. You know, and Danny.
But he said he just uses the app pretty much for at a glance. So he's using the app accountability so he can see. Okay, are you here with us now?
Yeah, can you
all
hear me
right,
now?
There you go.
All right, okay.
Woo, okay.
Thank you.
So yeah, they say, look at that. Okay, they like
I ended up getting a phone call, so it threw everything off.
No problem. Yeah, we keep Meryl Shaw, we gonna have to try to make you like a little regular, like a barber would. Meryl Shaw, no, but so because you're saying that you use the app for like at a glance. So let me just say this, okay? Because we've been working on this for like 2 hours. Really good. And I'm not saying this because I'm sure like my BFF, but I've been in business for 26 years. I've never used the app. And I'm gonna say this. That whole do the business part. Now, I would not say I was cognizant of that. I would not say that is a big bold face lie. But now that I heard her say it, people do want to do the business of talking. I do think that in this fast pace of just clicking and touching, I gotta go, it kind of removes that. But you need to talk to the person or have someone who could talk for several reasons. In addition to you've created a job, because now we have, someone who could do that for a living and get paid. But the relationships, the conversations, that's just my take on it. I think apps kind of limit, especially like we work as a team. So if that person can shampoo, one person could do the color, and we're always trying to get the people in. You know what I'm saying? So the apps for our business model is definitely, it's an impediment. There's nothing an app could do for us, but like what you said, it gives you the opportunity to see your appointment at a glance because our computer crashed, right? And we had to get the book. So you know what we did? We got the book and we have the computer because it was just unanimous. The team said we cannot be at the mercy because now I'm gonna tell you just how cold-blooded, to Cheryl's point. In the chat, what's the percentage you think of the people who showed up? Because we call our people and say, this is Ladosha Wright from RDT Hairsalon. We're calling to confirm that you have an appointment tomorrow at 1:00. We literally call the people. Some people have a text. Some people have a call. People have what's called DNC. Big ups to Philip Pelusi. He taught us how to do that, okay? So you have the option, all right? So our computer went out. What's the percentage of people you think that showed up? Was it 50%? 70%, 80%, 85%, 95%, what's the percentage of people between you and Cheryl? What do you think that the percentage of people
you're talking about as far as
because the technology went down.
Oh, so the technology went down.
Right. So the app is something that you could kind of depend on, but let's just say your phone crashed, people couldn't call and confirm, whatever. Right. What's the percentage of people you think that showed up for their appointments for that whole week?
I would probably say 90%.
Sure, what would you say?
That booked on the app?
No, that we don't have the app because we
you got 90. You got in the 90s retention.
Yeah, but so what's the percentage you think that showed up? Because we couldn't call them and use the computer because we didn't have any. All we had because what we do is we take a. Come on, Cheryl.
Yeah, all of them. All of them.
Single last. What are they
that piece of it right there?
Name.
That communication, that person to person talk, right?
That's that name.
Is way better than getting a text on your phone.
That's that Ladosha Wright when you land in Cleveland, Ohio, baby. That's being in the store, grocery store, all in the mall. Hey, Ladosha. Hey, Meryl Shaw. Hey, I ain't gonna have you hanging out like that because I'll see you in the club. I love you, Kilo. That's all that shit. That's what gets all of it.
And let me say this: when it crashed, right? I was like, oh, hey, oh, CJ, you got to get it fixed. I'm going to tell you right now, the crew was like this. What's the problem?
Yeah, what's the problem?
What's the problem? Hey, when I tell you that RDT, them mofos, they showed up and they showed out. And if we didn't tell them that computer broke down, I guarantee you they would have never known.
We have to remember.
When people, because what we couldn't do, now remember, Marisol, sorry for cutting you off. We really had no way of knowing in the following months, right?
Right.
Who was, because we didn't know that, because we knew our standing. We have what's called standard standings. So we know every Friday at 3:00, Lady T gonna show up. So we could put them, and that was a given, right?
Exactly. But we got to remember that these apps are being pushed by technical corporations, right? So they're the ones with the money that's pushing, saying that you need this, this is going to make your business. And then they pay barbers that have followers to say, you need this. This is something that I say that you need. So you don't necessarily need that.
So let's say this straight. Black barbers, urban barbers,
right?
Because you are tribe, all the Rainbow Coalition, everybody, right?
Right. Yes.
Let me say this. Okay. Let me say this. We want you to digitize your business, not corporatize your business. We want you to digitize.
I got you there, Shaw. I hear you.
Get a backup.
Yeah.
Get a cloud. We understand. Yeah. We didn't say y'all get the latest mousetrap.
Right. Don't depend on it. Right.
Get sucked in. Don't you guys understand when they say on these infomercials, the person is being paid to say this shit?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. At the end of the day, these belong to the Silicon Valley bubble. These are startups. These are apps. They are here. They don't give a shit about your revenue and your staying power in the beauty industry. They don't care about the beauty industry. They are there to corporatize the Black culture.
Black
beauty.
And Marisol just to let the dang on cat
out the damn
bag. But that's it.
Let's say, hold on. Wait a minute,
Follow
we got to say the same time. Wait a minute. Hold on. Come on, so let's say
Hold on.
Wait a minute, Marisol. Marisol did what?
Marisol and let the cat out the damn bag.
And that's why we have him on this podcast. Because
now, at the end of the day, guarantee you, I'm gonna say this. I guarantee you, we get four 65-year-old barbers, 2 Puerto Ricans, 1 Den mother, with that, with that love and all that baby and all that. At the end of the day, you'll see a 200% jump in your revenue. Because people, I don't give a shit. We are over corporatized. We got platforms, we got software, we got this, we got that. And what? We got less revenue.
Yeah.
Well, to Marisol's comment, I had to say this, Marisol.
Yeah.
Hammer time.
The hammer time drop right there. Y'all dropped the hammers in the chat. We have been rocking it out for 2 hours, Marisol. There are no words that we can say to thank you. You definitely let the cat out. I wasn't ready.
The damn bag.
I did not know. I would have never, ever would I have put those two together. So that was just like, wow, that was an ooh-wee. We'll tell you about ooh-wee a little bit. That's a whole other conversation right there. But no, in all seriousness, we do need to have you definitely back on more consistently with the barbershop talk, because you definitely have something to bring to the table that Shirley and I could never bring. The history as it relates to your name, your philanthropy, also the Gentlemen's Club, also, of course, the ladies. We did not want to leave out the ladies. What our ancestors came through. through, the barbershop banter, the talk of the boardroom, and then also the future of what we can do. That's what you've been able to help rock us out this evening on the Black Barbershop. And even though it says the Black Barbershop, for sure, people of other ethnicities and cultures can benefit from this conversation too. So, Marisol, I'm going to give you the last word of what do you want to say to the Black Barbershop community about this conversation, just moving it up at the same time in the spirit of our other guest, Miss Eva Jess, who said, keep the heritage, but we have to bring it up to the modernity and take it to that next level. What are you going to say to the Black barbers and the other ethnicities as well?
No matter how long you are in the industry, you're forever learning, right? This is a learning. It's always evolving. This industry is always evolving. So I say, learn as much as you can. Sometimes, by being quiet and listening a lot of the times will take you further than being involved in the conversation. Just sit back and listen sometimes and pay attention to what's going on around you. I think the internet is cool. Like, we're able to live stream like right now to get this message out to people. But at the same time, it is overly popularized by a lot of the BS that's out there as well. So just be careful of what you're following and who you're following, because a lot of times people can be a millionaire on the platform and then go home to a box. Cardboard box, right?
Well, so, Marisol he taking no prisoners, taking no shorts tonight. he like Cochise. He telling it all. That's a whole nother story. But let me just say this too. He talked about people can look one way on social media and go home and be another. I don't know if you guys saw this. This is before we get up out of here. There is this, and he's a community. Let me take this down right quick. He's what you call like a social media influencer, and his name is Dane Calloway, and he is known for a lot of his controversial comments around Black history, this thing around Aboriginals, Black people being the original people of the land with the Indians, all this other, very interesting stuff. Well, you know what? He is being sued for disinformation. That people are actually starting to confront, because Shirley and I, we've talked about this too, that there's some dangers to just putting out stuff that's just really harmful. And so he and his wife said some things that were just out of order, pretty much about Harriet Tubman and some other people, and like she wasn't a real person. Like, man, come on now. But anywho, so that is to your point. Now, this is an extreme example, but you know what, guys, you do have to be careful of the type of content that you're consuming. Of course, we have to say this with all due respect, he is innocent until proven guilty. I don't know him per se, but he is known for really saying some very, I'm just going to say, interesting things. And that's just to your point, that you really have to be careful with the information that you're consuming on these social media platforms. And it was people like Esther, our beautiful Esther here, who recommended that we do what we're doing. So we're going to have you back on a little bit more often. In the meantime, we're going to be back here on Monday, and we're going to start, not this Monday, but back here on Thursday. I think Dr. Joy is going to kick us off on Thursday, but we talk about that psycho squirrel thing, whatever. But our theme for the month is about hair loss business. So if you're concerned about hair loss, August is officially Hair Loss and Scalp Awareness Month, and Cheryl has something wonderful in store for you guys about the business of hair loss, and then we'll do the same thing over on Afro Hair Science. So we thank you very much, Marisol. We truly do. And let me put up where you guys please go and follow him on Instagram, because you go live. What is that you do? And I kind of caught you on your brother. His brother fine too, y'all. Very
yeah, so every Friday at 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Pacific time, we do a thing called Live Drive at 9 and 5. It's me and my brother. And it started some 3 years ago. I was working in the Bay Area, and I would be on my way back on Fridays, and we would jump on the phone, and we'd just talk about the day. And we was like, hey, let's open it up and create.
It's really nice. Me and Cheryl hopped in there. So y'all make sure tomorrow is Friday, because I'm gonna hop on. I'm gonna put a reminder. Okay. Y'all use y'all phones for something else than just having y'all grandbaby's pictures on there.
Right.
They're my grandbaby, okay? And put a reminder to jump in the live drive. And this is Maryshaw J. Brown on Instagram. Let's surprise him, everybody. Put a reminder in your phone right now, and let's show up with his live and drive with his brother. And that's it. Sure, you want to get ready to close us out? Thank you, Maryshaw. And I think that's it, guys. But go ahead, Cheryl.
I'm just going to say that I think think tanks like this is basically what's needed. I don't think that there's enough, of what basically we need to know just from one, podcast. I think that there is an ongoing, we have a lot of connecting with each other to do. So therefore we can get the vulnerabilities and the honesty and some of the real professional problems that they're having. Because, I don't know personally and professionally what they could be contending with, what makes them want to do the app, what makes them want to be very hands off and want this automatic, utopia of customers to start, flocking through the door, right? And even if they did, I don't know if they would have even the work ethic to even accomplish it and serve them well and have customer retention. So, I think we just need more of you, brother, in talks like this.
Yeah,
absolutely. Until something starts sticking on the wall.
And clearly, Maryshaw, I'm not trying to blow smoke up your Watusi or anything, but that's an old Southern thing, you know. You know what I'm saying? But the chat stayed with us. I mean, everybody rocked this out the entire time, and this is why we appreciate everybody on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and we definitely got some people popped up on Twitch. So what's up to our Twitch family and Instagram? So we appreciate you. Yes, you must come back. You're definitely bringing something different to the table because you held everybody's attention and Cheryl and all of her intelligentsia. So I think that's it. But in the spirit of what Maryshaw said, what she said, stay educated, no matter what, our shoppers are, stay on top of your skills. So with that being said, I am going to show a video of our upcoming Dr. Willie Morrow online. That's right, Afro Hair Science Online Academy is happening in October. So get ready, Maryshaw. You have a wonderful night. I will see you at 5 o'clock, the live on Drive. Y'all set your reminders right now. Just go into your phone and tap the little thing, and let's join Maryshaw tomorrow live and Drive on Instagram at Maryshaw J. Brown. All right. Y'all know what we say when we're signing out. Good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good is better and your better is best. All right, Cheryl, I love you. Maryshaw, you bomb.com. All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye, brother.
What's up, my fellow hair professionals? This is your girl, Ladosha Wright, aka Key Lolo. Welcome to the Willie Morrow Afro Hair Science Academy. This is not textured education. This is educational legacy. Finally, a legacy system of coils, chemistry, and high styling skills engineered over 63 years, perfected through ancestral knowledge and extensive research. From the legacy of Willie L. Morrow to the future of global beauty intelligence. We study it, we honor it, we master it, starting in October 2026. Register now at afrohairscience@gmail.com. Afro Hair Science, not a trend, a discipline. You're gonna get schooled.